Hi, I'm King Fred II. I'm a musician, a movie maker, and let's say some kind of investigative reporter. What you see here is the computer on which I make my movies. And I want to give you a little demonstration about a train that leaves a station and I get on it, but I was never even on that station.
Morgens 8:10 precies, ben ik met de eerste trein gegaan.
Now let's see that again. On the right you see the same clip. On the left you see the original movie that I downloaded from the internet.
Morgens 8:10 precies, ben ik met de eerste trein gegaan.
You might think that this is a very expensive program with which I did this. It's not. I paid €100 for it, and I even have a reason to believe that it is now even cheaper than that. So, if I could do this with this simple program, can you imagine what they could do with studio equipment back in the 60s? Watch a few pieces of a documentary that I didn't make, but I put them together to make it short and to the point. Please watch and learn.
Unfortunately, errors were made which are now being discovered.
Point out that lighting is a major flaw in the lunar photos. Case in point, on the moon, the astronauts' only source of light was the sun.
They had no extra lighting, no flashes or things like that.
For example, here's an astronaut who descends into a huge shadow cast by the lunar module. Yet his entire body is still visible. How is it that he is not shrouded in darkness? Here's the same maneuver from another Apollo mission. Again, the astronaut is brightly lit in what is obviously dark shadow. And in this picture, the sun is directly behind the astronaut. His figure should be a silhouette. Yet even the smallest characteristics of his suit are recognizable. And finally, in this picture with the sun behind the lunar module, the front of the craft is clearly visible. The words United States are crisp and clear. How could these backlit pictures be so detailed?
It's because there's more than one light source, which means they're not on the moon.
But NASA simply dismisses these arguments. But the questions continue. Why do some of these images shot at different times and different places appear to have identical backgrounds? These two photos seem to have the same mountain backdrop, yet the lunar module is only present in one of them. Seemingly impossible, since the LEM never moved and its base remained even after the mission.
What a ride, what a ride.
Some suggest the same artificial backdrop was used when shooting two entirely separate pictures. Background discrepancies are also apparent in the lunar video.
The best evidence are some pictorial anomalies in the photographic record of the trip to the moon. There is one for Apollo 16 where the same shot, the same hill, appears in 2 different days.
This tape was shot on what was reported to be the first of Apollo 16's lunar excursions.
But it couldn't pick a better spot.
And this video was from the next day at a different location.
That is the most beautiful sight.
NASA claims the second location was 2.5 miles away. But when one video is superimposed over the other, the locations appear identical.
It's absolutely unreal.
You see, the Russians beat the Americans 3 times already. The Russians were the first to put a spacecraft in space. The Russians were the first to put a living animal in space. And the Russians were the first to put a man in space. The Americans had no choice but to beat the Russians in one last thing. They had to put a man on the moon. But they couldn't. The Van Allen belts made it impossible. And so they had to fake it. It's as simple as that.